Hello, hi, and very good morning to everyone. Welcome to our webinar, Getting Started with N8n for Smart Automation. I hope you are having a good day, you're having a good holiday. Okay, all right. So before we start, my name is Mohammed Al Ubaidi. I think everyone knows me as Ubay, following my family name, as many Mohammeds name here in Malaysia. So uh, people they follow my family name, and Malaysia also they like to shortage names. Then everyone call me Obey. I have a bachelor in electrical and electronic engineering. I have a master in computer science, and I have a PhD in AI. I was graduated like 10 years ago. I was using machine learning to work with the medical images, X-ray medical images. I built a prototype to automatically annotate, describe, and categorize medical images. Medical doctors, they call it automated anatomy. You can find me on LinkedIn. I have been with Jimrain for almost 5 years. We have trained more than 5,000 people. Mainly, we focus on all those technical courses related to big data, data science, and artificial intelligence. All right. So nice meeting you all, and welcome to this quick webinar again. So today we are going to have two parts for our webinar. The first part, we are going to go through the understanding of all the terminologies, I would say. So whatever terminology currently people they talk about, high-tech companies they talk about, applications talking about, new developments talking about. So we are going to understand what is related to AI, what are the technologies of AI, what are the capabilities of AI currently, and whatever related to AI, as long as we are going to focus on automation. We are going to understand what is the difference between the usual usage of AI and AI for automation, and what is the automation part in terms of using AI for automation. So we are going to understand AI. We are going to look at this technology. We are going to look at the prompt engineering, context engineering, as long as it's considered as a very important part, as long as you are going to start building those automated models or those automated workflow. And then we are going to compare all of those, not all, we are going to compare those three, I would say, platforms that are available currently for automation: n8n, Zapper, and Make. So we are not going to only focus on n8n, but we are going to understand others. What do they offer? What are the differences? Those platforms are not the only platforms that we have currently for automation. We have other platforms. We have like Power Automate provided by Microsoft. We have agents provided by Google. And I believe in the future, we might have other platforms. They also provide a way to automate a lot of a process. Okay, and then we are going to have the second part is going to go through a simple case study on how to use n8n. This webinar is considered as an introduction to our coming courses, mainly focusing on, we call it AI for builders. So AI for builders, mainly focusing on those who are into technical part, like if you want to build models like machine learning model, deep learning model using Python programming language. If you are looking to deploy them, if you are looking at the final product like a web app, mobile app, whatever app that you want to deploy your model, we are providing those courses, and we are providing other courses, AI for builders, which is the one that under the n8n and other automation parts, which is going to be like less coding or no coding. I don't think it's going to be 100% no coding, but it's going to be less coding, more focusing on prompting and more focusing on the tools that are available currently in the market. Okay, to understand what is going on, definitely we have to talk about the big data. Big data, it is considered as the umbrella of all. Because of the big data, we are sitting together today talking about n8n. N8n is considered as one of the result of the big data. Big data, it is considered as the huge amount of data that it is continuously generating. either by individuals like us or by the private sector or the government sector. And due to this huge amount of data, then we need to find a way to handle the data. We need to automate the process of handling the data. Why? Because the data, it is in the huge size. We are not able to handle data manually anymore. So that's why we are looking for the automation. So if you ask me, I would say big data, it is why I say big data, it is considered as the umbrella of all. Because of the big data, we have the demand on artificial intelligence. We have the development and the technology of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is not a new technology. Artificial intelligence, it is a technology of 8 decades. Imagine a technology of 8 decades. Why this technology is not outdated? The first launch of AI or the understanding of AI, it was in 1956. So since then, why do we still need to use AI? Why AI is on high demand? It is all because of the big data. And at the same time, talking about AI, we still didn't reach up to the level of the real AI, which is what is supposed to be. So this is what we are going to discuss later. And then talking about big data, it is not as a result of the big data and the development of the big data, it is not only the development of artificial intelligence. It is also development of other sectors and other parts like blockchain, cybersecurity, cloud computing, networking, sustainability, and many other fields currently we have on demand in the market, all because of the development of the big data. Talking about the big data, you may ask, what makes the data that I am dealing with to be considered as a big data? Then we talk about the V's of the big data. Why we call them the V's of the big data? Because all of those, like I would say, facts or conditions to consider the data that you are dealing with to be a big data, all of those words or all of those conditions or facts, they start with the letter V. Volume, velocity, variety. Volume, about the scale of the data, the amount of the data that you are dealing with. Velocity, it is about how fast that a huge amount of data are generating. And variety is about the types of the data that you are dealing with. Are you dealing with the structured data? Are you dealing with the unstructured data? How to handle the data? Then this is all about the big data. It is all about, we cannot handle the data manually anymore, or we cannot even read the data by using Excel sheet. I think most of the companies, every one of us so far, we are using Excel sheet to handle the data, right? So if you are going to reach a level which is you are not able to handle the data manually, then it means you are dealing with the big data. All right. If you search online, I think you are going to find a lot of other beliefs about big data. Other companies, other high-tech companies, they say, okay, big data is considered as the data that it comes with the 5 Vs, 6 Vs, 7 Vs, 10 Vs. I think all of them, they come as an extension of these 3 Vs. The most important thing is to look at the data, get insights from the data, turn those insights into a value. The most important thing is to understand the data that you are dealing with. Is it a big data or not a big data? And you may ask, all right, the data that I am dealing with or I have currently, it is considered as a big data. So what should I do next? So what you should do next, you have to use the tools that they can handle big data. Excel sheet or other tools, classic tools, they are not going to be helpful to handle such a data. One of the tools can be the n8n, can be Python programming language, can be other data analytics and data analysis tools, can be Power BI, can be Tableau, can be many other softwares or many other tools. If you are into technical, then you can use a programming language to handle the data. One of them is a Python programming language. If you are not into coding, not into the technical, then you can use the tools like n8n, like most of the generative AI tools. Some of the softwares like Power BI and others, and all of them currently they come with the AI tools integrated. Then you can use them to speed up the process and to get maybe more insights. Is it more insights? I would say, like, I think most of the or I would say the main purpose is about to speed up the process. Okay, so here is the part of AI when it comes to the big data. It's all about the automation. So how to automate the process. I'm dealing with the huge amount of data. I cannot handle the data manually anymore. Then I need to automate a lot of processes. Then I need AI. AI, it is considered as a solution for automation. AI, it is all about how to make the computer machine think like a human, act like a human, understand things like a human, making decisions like a human, predicting things like a human. And whatever AI models currently we have in the market, it is all about how to use the I would say like how to use those models to understand things and understand data that a human usually understand things. So that's why when it comes to the domains of AI, then we always talk about those main domains. So we have the brain of AI, which are those statistical algorithms, machine learning, deep learning, generative AI. This is the current development of AI, or I would say the state of the art of artificial intelligence, generative AI. Under all of those terminologies, there are numbers of statistical algorithms. They understand the human data for the sake of mimic the human activities or mimic the way that how a human dealing with the data. And one of the data that usually a human deal with, it is considered as the spoken language or the written language. So that's why we have natural language processing, which is all about how to make those algorithms under either technology from here to understand the human language or to understand the textual language. So that's why we have natural language understanding and we have natural language generation. Natural language understanding is like text classification, which is to classify your feedback, to classify your comments, to classify your reply. Text generation, which are most of those generative AI tools currently we are using, like ChatGPT. I'm sure like all of us currently using ChatGPT. ChatGPT is the most common friend currently to everyone. So ChatGPT can generate articles, can generate emails, letters, reply, response, message. This is considered as a natural language generation. One of the things that also humans deal with, it is considered as the graphics and videos and images and our surround, our vision. So we drive based on the vision. We do things based on the vision. We react based on the vision. We have our emotions based on the vision. We work based on the vision. So this is about how to make those models understand the vision, graphics, videos, images, whatever related to vision, to be understood by the AI, like how a human understands those. So that's why we have facial recognition. I think all of us using the technology of facial recognition for quite some times, right? Either by using your device or by entering the premises or any kind of verification. And also we have, and also I think it's not we are using the applications of the image generation. If you go to ChatGPT, can create for you images. If you go to Gemini by n8n, can create for you images. If you go to Grok, for example, Grok Imagine can create for you images. If you go to Qwen, can create images. Copilot in the slides can create images. Gemini and Google Slide also can create images, and as not only images, also videos. Then we have the robotic and automation. Robotic is considered as the IoT, the hardware, the engineers that they come with all of these technologies and something look like a human, act like a human, answer questions like a human, and trying to do some human movements. And then one of the latest, I would say, domain of artificial intelligence is the LLM, large language model. So those models, they learn from a huge amount of images, a huge amount of text, a huge amount of audio, video, whatever the data, for the sake of generating alike data. All right. So just a quick one, and I don't want to go through the technical part. That one will take definitely much longer. But you may ask, like, how those domains they can understand things like a human. So when it comes to the computer machine, when it comes to all of those algorithms over here under machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, every data they are going to understand it based on numbers. So that's why we have natural language processing. It's about those methods that they convert the human language, spoken language, textual language into matrix of numbers for the algorithms of machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI to understand that language and to generate a like language, or to learn from that language for the sake of making decision, prediction, and so on. Same goes to the computer vision. All the graphics or the vision going to be converted into matrix of numbers to be understood by those algorithms for the sake of generating images, for the sake of understanding images, for the sake of like facial recognition, object detective, and so on. All right. So machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, and currently we are using generative AI in n8n. One of the things that we are using in n8n, or any of those, I would say AI workflow, like Zapper and Make, we are using the generative AI technology, generative AI tools as a brain. Later on, we are going to look at what is a brain in all of those automation. It is about generative AI. So then how related those technologies? So here is how related or how interconnected those technologies. AI, it is a technology of 50s. Since 50s, we have artificial intelligence, which is all about how to make the computer machine smart, and that one was about it was about instructing the computer machine by using computer programming language to answer questions or to do things like how a human do things. So everything it was instructed, it was written as an instruction by using computer programming language to help a human or to answer questions like a human. Then since 80s, we started with the machine learning. Machine learning, it is about using less coding, more learning, because we start collecting data. So we can build those models that they can learn from predefined data or known data for the sake of applying the knowledge of the known data on the new coming data, which is unknown. Like we have labeled images. So machine learning can learn from those labeled images for the sake of automating the process of labeling the new unlabeled images. Okay, so you can see here is the automation. It is all about the automation. And then since 2010 up to 2020, or I would say up to now, even up to now, we are still using machine learning. But we started with a technology called deep learning. And deep learning, it is considered as a subset of machine learning, while machine learning is considered as a subset of the artificial intelligence. So you can see how interconnected they are. Deep learning, it is considered as this technology, which is going to deal with more complex data, more complex insights, for more complex and more precise results. The amount of data, usually deep learning models they can deal with, it is considered as much higher than the amount of data that machine learning can deal with. So that's why this is considered as for more complex tasks. This is going to take longer time. This could be considered as quite promising in terms of the results if we have a huge amount of data. If we don't have that really huge amount of data, then machine learning is going to be much better to use to provide the precise results. And then since 2020 up to now, or I would say the technology of this era, it is considered as the generative AI. So generative AI, it is considered as the application of deep learning, if I may say that. Generative AI about using deep learning in more complex way to learn from the data for the sake of generating alike data. And here are the differences. If you want to understand the differences among these technologies, then generative AI totally different than machine learning and deep learning. Machine learning, deep learning, learning from the data for the sake of apply the learning for the sake of a prediction, making decisions, grouping the data into group, solving issues of the data. having different things based on the learning. But generative AI, the main purpose, or I would say the only purpose, is about learning from a huge amount of data to generate alike data. We are not we are not like making prediction models or making decisions or whatever thing that like how we use deep learning and machine learning for. Generative AI for only generating alike data. That's why, like whatever generative AI tool you name it, is about generating data for us. Again, we go to our friend ChatGPT, can generate for us text, can generate for us code, can generate for us graphics, can generate for us simple videos, can generate for us an idea for entrepreneurs, can summarize for us data, is not predicting for us, is not making decisions, can help us to brainstorm. But is it about a prediction? No, it's not about the prediction. Okay. So one of the things I think is good to focus on and to understand is the differences between machine learning and deep learning, and especially when it comes to those who are always asked this question: how should I use AI in my organization, or how should I use AI in my department or in my company? Should I implement AI? If I want to implement AI, should I use machine learning or deep learning? Should I buy the license of those ready-made models? Then I think this is going to provide a quick answer. Machine learning and deep learning and simple. Machine learning going to deal with smaller amount of data, simpler task, lesser time, quite a clear interpretation um, of the results, and then you have to do manually extracting features, getting insights from the data to be used for the prediction and for the learning. All right. While deep learning, it is considered as for more complex tasks, for bigger amount of the data, for more longer training time, bigger or more compute, and it could provide some of the results. Some of the results is not going to be interpretable. So either one is going to work for your organization or for your department, and that one is going to be based on the amount and the complexity of the data. But the most challenge part and the most important part that we are focused on currently, especially for 2026, and this is not for like trainers or for like people like just starting with the AI. This is for the big organizations and for the big or high-tech companies. They have the challenge of compute. When it comes to the compute, which is here are the differences. Deep learning needs much higher, much bigger compute compared to the compute needed for machine learning. And this is all about cost. And it's not only the cost, it's also the time. So you need to think about optimization. You need to think about which one is going to provide better. It is always good to start with the machine learning and to see and compare with the deep learning just for the sake of the try and error and to see which one is going to provide better results. I believe always machine learning can save you at the beginner stage. And then from there, you can scale based on the data. The more data, then you can move towards deep learning. All right. And then generative AI. We look at AI, machine learning, deep learning, generative AI. We compare between machine learning and deep learning. What is generative AI? So all about learning for generating a new realistic data. It's supposed to be realistic. I think so far, till the end of 2025, most of the data generated by generative AI tools, whatever tool we can name it currently, not only ChatGPT, I think most of the data considered as a quite recognizable, can be detected as AI generated, especially when it comes to graphics. But this year, it is all about how to use all of those generative AI tools to be imperfectly perfect. So to be perfect, this is going to make them detectable, right? They are going to be detected by whatever tools. So this one, okay, this image was created by AI. This video was created by AI. This audio was created by AI. This code, this letter, this message, this summarization. This year, it is all about how to have those generative AI tools to be more towards human, to make mistakes, to be more realistic. Are they going to be as realistic as a human? I don't think so, but it's going to be, I would say, it's going to be quite a challenge, or it's going to be quite it's quite difficult to look at the differences between the real data and then the data that generated by generative AI tools. This is the technology of this era. And you can see earlier we mentioned big data, right? You can see the more data, the better performance of AI. Or the more data, I would say the more development in terms of AI. So that's why currently we are dealing with the generative AI. What is going to be next? And a lot of people, they start to talk about something called AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. This is going to be the new technology of AI, and we are moving towards AGI. AGI is going to be the new technology of AI. Hopefully, we are going to see the applications of AGI by the next decade. I don't think it's going to be that soon. It's still considered as a theory. We have the first steps of artificial general intelligence, but artificial general intelligence is supposed to be those artificial intelligence models that they are going to learn by themselves. A human, they learn by themselves, right? We can learn by ourselves. We can do a lot of self-study, self-learning. Also, we learn based on emotions, environment, places, movements, visions, and a lot of things. Does AI able to do that? Not yet. Does AI able to have emotions as how a human having emotions? Definitely not. And even in the future, if we are going to have the emotional AI, or the AI going to have emotions like a robot that is going to be, I miss you, I love you, you look good, you look beautiful, you look handsome. Do you think this is going to be the real emotions, the real feelings? Definitely not. This is going to be all based on learning. All right. So next is going to be the AGI. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of development in terms of computing, in terms of affordability, in terms of the processing, in terms of the speed of the connection, and lots of other things, graphics, IoT. So we are at this stage currently. We are using agentic system. One of the application of the agentic system or agentic AI, if I think you have noticed, it's been a while. I think it's been a year. When you ask ChatGPT any question, ChatGPT, once finish the answer, they will ask you some suggestions, or they will give you some suggestions to continue with the answer they provided. Or sometimes when you ask quite a complex question, then ChatGPT might ask you, all right, what is if I prepare the answer in this way, or what is your preferences, or to add some like more clarifications and so on. This is one of the applications of the agentic AI. So next is going to be the high capable AGI, or the AGI technology. Do we have the first steps of AGI? Yes, we have. One of the things about AGI, it is about to have an AI model which is going to be used for multi-purpose. If you have used ChatGPT back to 2020, light of 2022, sorry, or if you have used ChatGPT in 2023, I think you remembered that ChatGPT was only for the content writing, only to generate contents, to summarize. It was only for content writing. It was only for one purpose. Currently, ChatGPT for multiple purposes: code, graphics, audio, entrepreneur, summarization, content. Same goes to other tools like Gemini, Copilot, Grok, Qwen, Manus, DeepSeek, Perplexity. They are also for multiple purposes. So these are the first steps for the AGI. All right. Or imagine we are going to have a robot, and that robot is going to do a lot of things. going to drive the car, going to cook, going to do coding, going to take care of the house, going to do housekeeping. So this is considered as applications of AGI. And after the AGI, a lot of high-tech companies, not for now, for a couple of years, or I think more than a couple of years, they started talking about AGI and ASI. ASI, it is considered as artificial superintelligence, which is the artificial intelligence that is going to be more intelligent than a human intelligence. I'm going to leave it to you if you think that artificial intelligence is going to be more intelligent than the human intelligence, or do you think artificial intelligence is already more intelligent than artificial and than human intelligence? But ASI mainly is going to be breaking through or going to pass the human intelligence. All right. Then these are some of the capabilities of ASI. This is what I found in the search. They are still considered as a theory. ASI is not going to be that soon. It's going to take at least 2 decades from now. A lot of development and affordability to be offered in quantum computing, and then this is going to be for the ASI. Or we are going to have the ASI available in our markets. So what is the state of the art of artificial intelligence in terms of the capabilities? In terms of the capabilities, we are still in the narrow artificial intelligence. With these 3 decades, with this current huge demand of artificial intelligence, with this current huge development in the field of artificial intelligence, we still didn't reach the real artificial intelligence, which is the artificial intelligence that is going to simulate the human intelligence, which is supposed to be the artificial general intelligence, the theory of mind, or the emotion AI, which is those models that they have or they're supposed to be able to learn by themselves. And then next is going to be the artificial super intelligent. All right. Then building models, talking about domains, talking about artificial intelligence, talking about generative AI tools, how to implement AI in your organization, how to use them. Then these are the steps of building any model, machine learning model, deep learning model, and even if you want to build a generative AI tool for you, yes, it is much easier and much better, faster to build your own generative AI tool than using the generative AI tools that are available currently in the market. You can build something to be used in a better way than using ChatGPT. You might be surprised, but you don't have to build a tool that is going to be as sophisticated as ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot or others. You can build a tool that is going to be focused on your purpose and is going to be good to be used locally, maintaining the privacy and for free. Later on, we are going to look at the number of the generative AI tools that are available currently in the market. You might be surprised on the number of the generative AI tools currently available in the market. And at the same time, you are going to have a good, I think, motivation to start thinking about building your own generative AI tool. All right, we will look at it soon. So those stages or those steps start with the business understanding, which is what is the problem that you are going to work on, analytic approach. You are going to use machine learning, deep learning, and which type of machine learning or which type of deep learning. This is, you need to come to our courses for deeper understanding of these steps. Data requirement, data collection, based on the data that you are going to collect, you are going to use, definitely is going to be the data that it is related to your own job, related to your organization, related to your office, related to your business, and so on. Then you start understanding the data, looking at the problems, solving the problems during data preparation, building the model, evaluating the model. If the model is going to pass the threshold of the accuracy that you already decided on, then you are going to deploy it. You are going to have the web app. Like, for example, ChatGPT is considered as the web app. Okay. Then you're going to deploy it, then you will start getting feedback, and then you can always go back, improve, and move forward. That's why you can see these steps considered as iterative steps. You can always go back, improve things, and then go forward. All of these logos, we are not sponsored by them, unfortunately. How nice if we are sponsoring by them, or at least one of them. But anyway, so those logos all related to the open source tools that are available currently in the market. This is the beauty of it. A lot of open sources, a lot of tools for free, just waiting for us to use them, to understand them. A lot of them have been built based on complex math, complex statistic, complex coding. Do we have to know every single thing behind those tools? No. Do you have to know that complex math or complex statistic or even the complex codes? You don't have to. You just need to master that tool to work on your data and to build something to suit your purpose. All right. So next, let's look at the tools, and all of those tools, not all of those tools yet, I would say. Majority or some of those tools, you are going to have them in any platform for the automation. Like n8n, we have OpenAI, we have Gemini, we have Azure, we have a lot of those generative AI tools. We can use them as a tool for the automation, as a tool to do the research, to do creating article, do things for us in the n8n. This is what we are going to look at soon. All right, so those are some of the tools. I think those are the tools that every one of us should be aware of, at least. You don't have to use all of them every day, definitely. But at least you are aware of those tools and you can like switch from one to another. ChatGPT, I'm sure is your friend. Gemini, you might hear of. Copilot, you might hear of. As long as in your office and your office subscribe to Microsoft Office, now Copilot is for free in the Microsoft Office. You can use the Copilot chat. Manos is considered as for those complex models, complex results, complex prompt, complex issues that you have. Grok is considered as a quite good currently. It was banned in Malaysia for a while and then now back. I think in terms of graphics, Grok providing good results compared to other tools, especially ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not the best, by the way. DeepSeek used to be the best. I think now, under some upgrades, we might have some surprises soon. Perplexity, I think Perplexity is considered as one of the very useful tools currently. Quan, it is the one that developed by Alibaba. It's considered as very good to be used based on my own usage. Claude, this is the best, or I would say this is sorry. Claude, I think the best, or maybe one of the best, if not the best, for coding currently. They use a model called Opus 4.5 for those who are into coding, and unfortunately, that one you have to go for the paid version. You cannot use the free account for that one. Notebook LM, I think this is the one that is going to really take you back. So whatever tool you name it, paid tool to do things can be done by using Notebook LM for free. 100% for free, and you might be surprised by the result. But the way of using Notebook LM, it is totally different. And I think Notebook LM, it is considered as one of the best for the context engineering. This is what we are going to look at next. All right. And then Midjourney, this is for graphics. GitHub Copilot, this is for coding. Google AI Studio, this is to build apps by only prompting. Imagine you are going to build an app by only writing a prompt. Okay, you may join us for our courses for generative AI tools. We have AI literacy, we have AI for practitioners, AI for productivity. We mainly focus on generative AI tools and how to use them professionally. Okay, so talking about those tools, what do you think? What is the number of tools? Can you write in the chats? What do you think the number of the generative AI tools currently available in the market, or you are aware of? Do you think they are like what, 10, 20, 5? Can you share with us the number of tools that you are using, or at least you are aware of? I think after this slide, now you're supposed to be aware of what? Aware of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so let me share with you one of the tools that I use it to keep myself up to date. All of those tools, you can use them to keep yourself up to date in terms of the generative AI tools currently available in the market. But this is the one that I always look at to look at the number and to look at some updates. Okay, so you can go to this website. There is an AI for that without space. There is an AI for that.com. Oh, I think the best I share with you this tool in the chats. Okay, and you can see we have 45,717 tools. My advice to you, and you will remember this, try to check this website in 2 days from now, or maybe try to check it tomorrow morning. I'm sure the number is not going to be 46,000 that fast, but I'm sure it's going to be 45,000, could be 750. Okay. Or if you're going to check it maybe by next week, I am sure it's going to be at least 500 to 1,000 tools being released in the following week. All right. So I think this is one of the very good tool to look at. You can look at the categories and you can look at all of those recently released tools by just scrolling down. You may ask, are those tools are reliable? All of them are quite reliable. You can look at the blue tick. The one that it comes with the blue tick is supposed to be reliable. But imagine 45,000 tools. I don't think they are going to be that reliable. But I think this is a very good hint for us to look at this number of tools. Then this might give us a very good hint to start developing our own tool. A lot of open source, a lot of tools can help us with the code. Then we can build our own tool to be used in our own data locally, in our local machine. All right. If you are interested, you can always join us to think about and to start building your own tool. And these are other websites you can go through. I think Futurepedia, it is considered as also another very good tool to look at the recent on demand, but I believe this is based on the US. So you can see on demand currently is ChatGPT, Claude, Midjourney, Perplexity, Google Gemini, Grok, Leonardo AI. I think if you didn't hear about Leonardo AI, it is considered as one of the graphic tool. You can use it for graphics. All right. Okay, so let's go back to our slides. The next is going to be the prompt engineering, context engineering. When it comes to the prompt engineering, I don't want to spend that long time. Let's move to n8n. But you need context engineering when you are going to do any automation. And in simple, following the context engineering, and this is what I have studied from Coursera, Google, they have this course. You may check it out. Google Prompting Essentials Specialization. This is about 6 hours course. And if you go back, I have summarized it in the slide. Any prompt, you have to start with the task and then the context, the reference, evaluate the results. If you're not happy with the results, iterate, reform the prompt, and then continue. when it comes to the task, you have to do two things. The first thing is the persona, and then the second thing is the instruction. What do you want that generative AI tools to do for you? Just be very clear. Context is to be specific. All of those generative AI tools, they have learned from a wide range of data. So you need to limit them for the results. If you are not going to limit them, they are going to provide you just general information, surface information. It is always good to provide the formats. So you want the results to be into 2 paragraphs. You want it to be sounds friendly and beginner. You want it to be academic. You want it to be educational. You want it to be formal, professional. You want it to be into numbers and tables. All right. You are going to add a reference as a link or a website or a PDF file. Then this is to limit more. And then after that, you are going to get the result, evaluate the result. If you are happy with the result, then definitely next is going to be copy paste. If you are not, then you need to iterate, you need to reform the change the prompt for better results. All right. So like, for example, this is just a quick example. So instructions, plan a week trip to Japan. Add a persona, act as a professional travel consultant. All right. And then context, the traveler is interested in culture and technology with a budget of 2,500 and wants to visit Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. You can see, be specific. Present as a day-by-day itinerary table. All right. Then this is the this is another example here. This is, you can see this is the persona over here. We are asking about act as a business and AI researcher, provide. This is the persona. Act as something that related to the prompt that you are going to ask. Provide a report about the ROI of AI implementation in small businesses. Persona and instruction. All right. This is the task. Next, include current market data, case studies, implementation costs, and project returns. This is the context. Format, make it suitable for small businesses, clear and informative. And you can use meta prompt. Meta prompt, it means you are going to ask that generative AI tool to improve your prompt. Once you ask to improve your prompt, you can see the prompt is going to be like that. That's why they said always good to use the context to be into numbers and points. All right. So next, we are going to talk about the automation. We are going to talk about n8n. Then introduction to AI automation, n8n, Zapper, and Make. We are going to discuss only those. You may ask, we have only those platforms in the market? No, we don't have only those platforms in the market. We have other platforms, but these are just quickly to have a look at them. Especially, we are going to focus on n8n to see the capabilities and to see the usage. And then it's good always to figure out other platforms. So what is the AI automation, or what is the automation that provided by AI? So it is about the usage of artificial intelligence plus the automation tools to perform tasks automatically, to make decisions or generate content, or to trigger action across systems. All right. So this is by adding thinking, by adding a lot of steps, a lot of, I would say, complex results. But let's make things practical and simple. So every one of us using ChatGPT for a purpose. Let's say I'm using ChatGPT to write an email to send to my boss, or I'm using ChatGPT to create a presentation about a specific topic maybe every week, or I use ChatGPT to summarize a document. Also, like maybe once a day, or maybe like once a week, I use ChatGPT to clean up the data. I use ChatGPT to analyze the data, this is the way of using generative AI tools currently at work. So as long as I'm using ChatGPT to write for me an email or to do for me a code or summarization or presentation or what cleaning the data. So what about I build a flow, blocks, and they are going to do these things for me without me visiting ChatGPT website asking things to do for me. Yes, asking ChatGPT or asking any other generative AI tool is good to speed up the process. It's good to be more precise. It's good to be up to date. But as long as I'm using it like once a week to write for me an email and to send it to my boss, what about I build the model to write the email every maybe, let's say Monday morning, and to be sent to my boss without me doing the steps. I build the model once and then I just monitor the automation. So this is the main idea of the automation. So that's why we are calling it artificial intelligence, or I would say generative AI tools with automation tools. Automation tools is going to be n8n. n8n is going to help you as a platform or as a whiteboard to build all of those steps. You build it once and you can use it. I'm not going to say to use it forever, but to use it for the long time and to save a lot of time. All right. And then this is the n8n. So if we go to the websites, okay, I was thinking about Grok, whether to pay for it or not. This is the n8n. This is the website. So you just search for n8n, or you just go to Google, n8n. Then you are going to have this. Then you need to sign in. You can sign in for free, and you can use it for 2 weeks for free. They give you 2 weeks for free, n8n platform. You can do things. And later on, I think if you go for the paid one, it might be like almost like a 25 USD, if I'm not mistaken. I'm using the paid one. Yeah, anyway, I'm using the paid one. But my advice to you, if you are going to use the paid one, then you have another option. You can host it on your own server. If you don't have a server, then you can subscribe for whatever available currently for only 5 USD, and then you can host it over there. So instead of using it for 24 or 25 USD, you can host it on, if you have a server. If you don't have, then you can buy from whatever available currently in the market. Then you are going to save almost 20 USD if you are going to be that heavy user. All right. Okay, this is the n8n. Back to the slides. And then talking about the n8n, what is n8n good for? First of all, n8n, I think it is considered as the one which is the most compatible, and it has a wide range of applications to be used within n8n platform compared to Zapper and compared to Make. They are simpler, they are less compatible. The number of tools going to be lesser compared to n8n. Okay, so that's why when I talk about n8n, n8n is considered as an open source workflow for automation, and it has lots of apps, APIs, database, AI models, and then it is good with the AI, LLM, CRM, Google tools, a lot of things later on we are going to look at. And then this is the advantage of using n8n. And if you ask me, I think n8n still need to get connected and to get more tools to be used for the platform. But they are always getting things up to date. They are always adding tools. And I believe it is considered as, for now, it is considered as the most reliable or the most common one to use for the automation. In the future, we don't know. Maybe like later on, Power Automate is going to be the best. But Power Automate, it is developed by Microsoft, and it is only for the Microsoft ecosystem. All right. Next, we have Zapper. So you can search for Zapper. They have been in the market for quite some times, and they have become quite okay to use. All right. This is Make, not Zapper. This is Zapper. All right. So Zapper is going to be 100% no code. n8n, you can use it with code or without code. Sometimes you need to use the code, but just only what you can use the code vibe code. All right. Zapper. I didn't use personally. I didn't use Zapper, but based on what I read and based on like other people that I know, they use Zapper. They always say that n8n consider as like in a way more efficient to use than Zapper because of the number of the tools. All right. So back to Zapper. So you can see this is to simpler triggers and actions. So it's a limited customization compared to n8n. So I would say Zapper is considered as simpler than using n8n. And then we have Make. Make is considered as no code. It is considered as something in between Zapper and n8n. So it is more complex than Zapper, is less complex than n8n. I don't think any of those considered as a complex. But what I meant in complex, it means the number of the tools to be used. And then the platforms, the whiteboard. All right. I think for those who they want to learn automation, as long as you are going to invest time and you are going to start learning about automation, it is always good to start with the n8n. Unless if you have some preferences to use Make or Zapper, then you can start with them. No issue at all. Okay, so back to n8n, then I'm going to demo for you about n8n. So I'm going to sign in. I have the account. It's quite simple, straightforward to create an account. And then you are going to get the verification. And then once you get the verification, you are going to be in this whiteboard. I believe your whiteboard is going to be empty at the beginning. And then you can always start by clicking on this plus over here, or you click on the create a workflow. See, creating workflow, this is the whiteboard, or you can click on this plus, workflow, personal, or project. If you are going to have a project, I'm going to click on the personal. Then you can see you are on the same page. All right, so let's understand what is going on over here. It's quite interesting. Okay, you can see you can move right, up, down. It's quite flexible. You can close this. You can open it. I advise you to open it because this is going to help you to look at a lot of a process. You close it and I cannot open it back. Yes. All right. Okay, so this is our whiteboard, and then this is what you are going to be able to move. All right, I lost the start point. Okay, another one. What's the one? All right, create a workflow. Okay, so this is the one. All right, so you can do two things. And simple, at the beginning, you can do two things. The first one, it is to add the first step. So you can click on this plus, and you are going to have those options. The first thing that you need to understand when you are going to use n8n, it is always you have to start with a trigger. What does it mean, a trigger? A trigger, it means the instruction that you are going to start with. So you want to write an email. you want to analyze the data, you want to create an article, you want to send something, you want to fill a form. So a trigger can be something manually done, or can be something on a schedule, or can be something based on app. As you can see the options over here. Okay, let me close this. Just click on this white area over here. You are going to be able to close it. Then you can see, once you click on this plus, then you are going to have all of these options. You can trigger manually. So I'm going to click on it. You can see this is the trigger. All right. Anyway, I don't have anything here, but this is going to be just only a trigger to start do what is going to be next. But anyway, I don't have anything next yet. But if you click on it and you click on execute workflow, you can see it's going to work. Already started. Okay. I'm going to delete it and to look at the other options. You can delete it by just only delete, or you can always delete it by a click on this icon. All right. So back to the triggers. This is manual trigger. This is on app event. So what does it mean? It means you are going to use different app as a trigger. And over here, if I'm not mistaken, there are more than 500 apps to be used as a trigger. You can use your email, you can use a software, you can use a Google Sheet, you can use whatever. So you can see even WhatsApp, I think, just now I saw, as a trigger, WeChat, Shopify. So you can see whatever tool you name it, most likely you are going to have it as a trigger. If you have a tool that is not available so far as a trigger, then in the future, you are going to be able to find it. And at the same time, if you are going to dive deeper into n8n, then later on, you can create your own trigger. All right. So this is another thing about trigger by using app, or you can use a trigger based on a schedule. Just now I mentioned every Monday morning to send an email to my boss. So I can use on a schedule a trigger. I'm going to click on it, and you can see once you click, I clicked on it, and then this is the inside, the core of this trigger. Or sometimes they call it the node, but this is considered as a trigger. Double click on it, you can see I can have the schedule. So is it days? No, I want to be weeks. So it's going to be weekly. Okay, how many times? One time. When is supposed to be? Okay, I want it to be on Monday. Click, I'm going to delete Sunday, then I want it to be on Monday, and then this is Monday. All right, so what time? Is it the midnight? No, I want it to be 9 a.m. All right, so this is 9 a.m. Okay, you want it to be like 9:20? All right, it's right here, 9:20. You want to have some rules, you can click on add rules, but I think so far it's okay. Then this is on a schedule. You can see even there is like a clock. Then this is considered as on a schedule. All right. You want to delete it to look at others on a schedule, or we have another option, which is on webhook call. What does it mean, webhook? Webhook is another option, which is to take an action or to start doing things or to trigger based on an action coming from a different software. Like, for example, someone submit a form, then the workflow is going to work. Or someone asked to order, or someone make the payment, or someone asked for a leave, or someone submit a request to attend an event, or someone subscribe for your event. So this is not a schedule. This is not a manual. This is not, I would say, using the other app. This is based on an action being taken or being done, submitted by other app or other, I would say, application. All right. This is on the form submission. This is based if you have mainly for the forms. This is when executed by another workflow. Imagine you are going to build the workflow, and that workflow is going to be as an input to another workflow. Or that workflow is going to be the trigger for the new workflow. So this is if you are going to combine multiple n8n workflow. On chat message, if you are going to receive a message when running an evaluation, this is going to be based on evaluation or other ways. You don't have to worry about the other things. You just need to start with either schedule or the manual, then everything is fine. All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do something simple today, which is, let's say I have a Google Sheet and then I want to add like more details in the Google Sheet. All right. So I'm going to say, okay, this is a trigger. This is to start. So once I click on it, then it means to start do things. So what is going to be next? Next, I'm going to click on this plus. Then you can see these are the, I would say the brain, or these are going to be the, after the trigger. What is the trigger is going to start do. So we have AI models, we have action and app, we have data transformation if you want to transform data, we have a flow. Then normally when we build like quite advanced models, the flow can be like branches. So start with this flow, upper flow, lower flow, right flow, left flow, and other flow. Can be the core, especially with the webhook, is going to be based on some actions being taken. Can be human in the loop, can be another trigger. So a trigger to trigger another trigger. All right. So I'm going to click on the action in the app, and you can see there are a lot. I'm going to search for the sheet or the Google Sheet. This is a Google Sheet. All right. So you can see once you click on Google, so you see lots of things over here to do with the Google. It's not only one. Google Drive, Google Document, Google Ads, Calendar, Tasks, Slides, BigQuery, Contacts, Books, Translate, Analytics, Cloud Storage, Sheets, the one that I'm going to use, Google Cloud, Firestore, and many others. Anyway, I'm going to use Google Sheet. This is a Google Sheet. Click on it. And then what I want to do, I want to add, I'm not going to create, not going to delete. Okay, let's say I'm going to append row. I have a data set. I have a sample Google Sheet. Then I want to add automatically based on the trigger. So add row. Okay, so here it is, the point. This is considered as one of the main nodes. And then how this node is going to know where is my Google Sheet. This is going to be based on what? This is going to be based on my Google account. So if you are going to do this for the first time, then this is going to be empty. Then you need to add the credential to connect with your Google account. So to add the credential to connect with your Google account, you click on this arrow. You can see for me, I have already connected to my Google. It's very simple, very straightforward. Click on the create a new credential. All right, you don't have to worry about all of these services. Just ignore them for now. You click on sign with Google, sign in with Google. Click on it and then choose your Gmail account for your information. If you are going to choose any professional email, then there are a lot of other steps that you have to follow. My advice to you, if you are going to use a professional email, then it is good to look at, let me show you, close, data credentials, many credentials. It's always good to look at the auth 2 if you are going to use a professional email. If you are going to use a Google, then you can just click on it and then use your Google account, sign in. I'm going to click on it. Let me show you. Continue and allow tick all. You don't worry about the privacy. Then it's going to be able to go through your account. All right. And then it is always good to name the credential. So like, for example, you can see I name it over here. I name it as a Google Sheet account. Why? Because this credential, you might use it later on. And what is the resource? The resource is a sheet with document. All right. Operation, it is about append row. All right. And then now I'm going to choose the sheet that I'm going to deal with. The sheet that you are going to deal with can be from the list of the sheets that you have in your Google Drive, which are the Google Sheets. Can be the URL, can be by ID. But if you are just click here, so unable to sign, I think because I'm using multiple credential. See, these are the sheets that I have. And let's double check. I'm going to go to the Google Sheet. This is my Google account. And then I'm going to click on here. And then I'm going to click on Sheets. I'm going to create a new sheet. I'm going to use a Gemini. This automation. I'm going to use a Gemini to create a sheet. By the way, I don't think you have Gemini over here if you are not using the paid account. If you are using the paid account, then you are going to be able to use Gemini here. Then I'm going to say, okay, create a table or create a sheet of the following: name, maybe name, email, address, city, address, okay, role, company name, and then, okay, name, email, address, role, company name, and contact number. Okay, so you can see this is a Google Sheet. This is like a table of name, email, address, role, company name, and contact number. We have how many? We have 8 of them. I think they are fine. I'm going to click on Insert. All right. Then I'm going to give it a name, this Google Sheet. Then I'm going to say a new contacts or new staff. All right, new staff, January or February now, February 2026. Okay, so later on, we're supposed to find this in n8n as long as we are connected, our credential is right. And at the same time, is going to be what? Is going to be, if you want to use a URL, you can use the URL. Okay, let me go back. I'm going to click on this. Still not updated. All right, so I'm going to go back here. So you can see the node is here, but this triangle, red color, it means we didn't do the setup in the correct way. Anyway, if you want to correct the setup, double click here. Then you can see this is missing. This is the beauty of n8n. n8n is quite helpful for beginners, for intermediate, and for advanced. Then I'm going to click on this arrow. You can see a new staff February 2026 already updated. You just give it some times, few seconds, then it's going to be updated. Then I'm going to click on it. All right. And then to choose is going to be, we have just only sheet 1. Then this is mapping now the result. So what do we have? We have name, email, address, role, company, contact. So done. And if you go back to the sheet, you are going to find, yes, name, email, address, role, company name, and contact number, which is exactly been addressed here. So we are fine. This is done. I'm going to go back. So now we are good. All right. So next, I'm going to connect it to my email. All right. So to connect it to my email is going to be Google. So, or Gmail, I think we should search for Gmail. Yes, Gmail. You can see the options. I'm going to click on send a message. So I'm going to send a message to those who are going to fill in those data to confirm that. So send a message, and then these are the information. But as you can see here, we don't have anything from here. Then I need to go back. All right, I need to go back. All right, I'm going to say the name is Obey. The email address is going to be, later on I want to check it, it's going to be sent to my email to check it. Then I'm going to use this email. Address, I'm going to call it Kuala Lumpur. Role, let's say trainer. Company name, ABC. And then the contact number, 1122433344. All right. So these are the details. I'm going to go back. Then this is supposed to be okay now. And this is the emails. I don't have it yet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect this. Then I'm going to trigger, and I want to see, is it going to be appended in the Google Sheet or not? So this is my Google Sheet so far. Let me close Gemini. All right. And then once I trigger, then I will see I supposed to have this new details to be there, because I already write down Obey, the email, the address, the contact number, the company name, and the role. Then let's click on the execute workflow, either this one, or once you click on trigger, it's going to do this one. I'm going to click on it, and you can see now it's working. And then it was successfully added, and you can see here everything was done, no issues. Then now I'm going to go to my sheet, and you can see it was already added. The name, the one that I written just now, I wrote just now, and then the email address, the address, the role, the company name, and then the contact number. So it's fine. Then now I'm going to connect it to the email. Now it's going to work. This is connected, double click. So you can see now I have it. I have this information because it was executed. This is one thing about n8n. You just need to look at the flow. It's not going to be everything is connected. You need to look at the flow step by step. All right. So now I want to automatically send an email to the what? To the one that filled those information. All right. This is a very important thing when it comes to n8n. These features considered as a dynamic feature. So now Obey fill in those details. Later on will be another person fill in the information. Another person will fill in, another person. So the email over here supposed to be not only, okay, I'm going to say, all right, obey@aic4all.com. Then later on, it's going to be every time sending to the same person. To do that, I'm going to click on the email over here, drag and drop. So this is going to be dynamic. Whoever going to enter the details, then it's going to be sent to that person email. And this is considered as a JSON. If you are looking at what is this language, what is this programming language, this is considered as a JSON. If you are familiar with the JSON programming language, then it's fine. If you are not familiar with the JSON programming language, then it is also fine. All right, then click and enter outside. You can see this is the dynamic feature. And the good thing about n8n, everything is going to be appeared over here in terms of the result. Okay, this email is not the right email. I need to change it. And just a minute, because later on I'm not going to receive it. Okay, this is my email. OBAY. So now I'm going to execute it again. Let me just, then I'm going to execute again. So now we are going to have another row, because every time execute, we'll have a new row. So this is a wrong email. This is the right email. Anyway, so let's go back to n8n and let's connect it to the Gmail. Then this is about the email. You can see now this is the right email. It was updated. And what is going to be the subject? The subject, I'm going to say hello, and then the name. I'm not going to say obey. I'm going to say the name, because we said this is dynamic feature. This is the subject. All right. And then what is going to be the email type? You want it to be the context of the email. Yeah, the context of the email. Is it going to be, you want it to be HTML, or you want it to be just only a text? I'm going to use a text for now. And then what do you want to say? I'm going to say hello and the name. Welcome to, then the company name. The company name, I'm going to have it here. Welcome. It is great to work. It's great to work with, and the role over here. Try to have a space. This is, you can see all of these features going to be changed. So hello, Abay, welcome to ABC company. It's great to work with trainer. All right. So this is going to be sent automatically. Once we execute now, once we click on the trigger, then everything is going to be executed. Again, you can see all of these fields. The result is over here. This is the email going to be sent. This is the subject of the email. And then this is the text is going to be in the email over here. All right. So let's go back. And then now we are going to execute again. Executed. So everything was successful. Nice, done. If you go to the sheet, it was added for the third time. It's okay, fine. It's the same one because we didn't change. And now if I'm going to go to my email, the one that it was written, then I'm going to find it. So you can see from this email, it was, but this is my credentials. And you can see, hello, Obey, welcome to ABC. It is great to work with the trainer. You can see this is sent by n8n. All right. This is great. This is fine. And this is the early stage of using n8n. You can add this as a schedule. You can have it as something to be sent to people to key in their data and so on. So what is going to be next? Before I'm going to stop for the Q&A, so let me share with you a few things about n8n. I know the time is not enough, but you may ask, okay, how am I going to use it live? Or how am I going to deploy it or execute it? You can just click on active. You can see this is inactive. Why this is inactive so far? Because we didn't put any automation so far. This one all based on manually trigger. If I'm going to click on execute workflow, then it's going to be done. I don't have any schedule. I don't have anything that related to like can be worked on automation. I don't have any schedule. So that's why I cannot activate it. If I'm going to have any schedule or anything that's related to automation, then you are going to be able to activate it. And then you can save it. This is going to be saved in your account. And if you click on these three dots, you can see you can duplicate it. You can download it. Everything is going to be downloaded as a JSON programming language. Then later on, you can import it. You can import the file. Once, if you are going to save this, you can if you are going to download this, and then in a new n8n, if you are going to import the file, then it's going to be automatically like that. So any n8n, you can download it. It's going to be JSON, and then you can import it in a new n8n. Then you don't have to build the thing again. It's going to be immediately like that. I think it's good to be familiar with the JSON programming, with the JSON, I would say, data format or the language. But even if not, I think should be fine. If you get some basics, it's good. All right. You can change the owner. You can rename it. You can import it from URL. You can import a file, and you can do some settings. The plus over here, you can always look at the notes to add. This is to search for another n8n. This is to write notes. Like, for example, this notes. You can see, like, sometimes this is what I am doing. So this one, okay, this is a trigger to start from. The start button. All right. So this is going to be this node. So this is what this is what I do when I build n8n and send it to clients or friend. And then you can have another notes. Then this is the Google Sheet and another note. So you can just have a note that to tell what is this everything is about. All right. Let me delete them. And here is the fun part. Okay, this is the focus mode. Currently, we don't use the focus mode. Okay, you can just ignore it for now. And then the fun part, you can use AI to prompt. All right, you can use AI to prompt. You can use AI to build something. Like, for example, let me show you building an automation, complete automation. And then this is what we start from in our courses about n8n. I'm going to click on a new one, personal. I'm going to save this. Then this is a new one. So I'm not going to click on the plus. I'm not going to click on build with AI. Later on, I will show you how to build with AI. Sorry, now I'm going to show you building with AI. So when it comes to build with AI, let's need to close this. I'm going to click on this. So you can see now it's built. Or you can click on this icon over here. This is related to AI. When you come to AI, you have two options. You can build with AI, or you can ask AI. You can ask AI about anything. All right. You can ask, okay, what is n8n is about? So they're going to give you information about n8n. All right. So whatever question you have, you can ask. And over here, you can build. Like, for example, I'm going to build something together now. Okay, build a workflow to create a weekly article about AI for banking industry. The article should be in length of 500 words maximum. It should be sent to my email every Monday morning, like 9 a.m. It should include graphics. I would say the article should include the graphics and related references. All right. So build a workflow to create a weekly article about AI for banking industry. The article should be in the length of 500 words maximum. It should be sent. It should be sent to my email every Monday morning, like 9 a.m. The article should include graphics and related references. All right, I'm going to submit this prompt. And you can see now n8n is going to work for us. It's not going to be 100% accurate, but we are going to use AI to correct it as well, to help us to fix issues. Okay, so categorizing the prompt, getting best practices, search for the notes, and then getting some notes details, thinking, and you will see now the note is going to be built. So while n8n building the notes, you may ask, so why do we have to learn n8n as long as the AI and n8n can build for us? Yes, it's a very good question. But if you are not going to learn how to use n8n, you are not going to be able to build these tools. So as long as the AI in n8n going to help you to build the tools, then you are not going to be able to use them or to correct them or to modify them or to do a lot of things. All right, still thinking, and you can see some red color triangle. So it means something wrong there. Some updates. The red color triangle seems gone. Finalizing. And then this is the automation. These are the details. You can read through the details. But let me show you this is not going to work, by the way. But let me show you what happened over here. So first of all, once you have it, this is going to be all activated. So you just need to click on the white space. And then later on, you can just do that to make things easier to, if you want to understand and to read. So this is the trigger. I'm going to click on it, double click. It seems, yes, based on the week, once a week, Monday, 9 a.m., seems fine. If this is good, then you can just proceed with it. If not, then you can amend it as we did earlier. And then over here, it is the workflow configuration. Then seems all right. This is the topic, AI in banking industry, 500 words. So far, not bad. This is considered as the heart of the automation. So this is using OpenAI. Click on it. Then you need to use the credential. If you want to use the credential, then you have to go to OpenAI. So here it comes the steps. So that's why you have to learn every single thing. AI is going to help you later on. Like generative AI tool now, ChatGPT, you are going to use it for coding, and you didn't learn code at all. Do you think you are going to be able to ask the right prompt, or you are going to be able to evaluate the results of ChatGPT going to provide you codes? No. Same goes to n8n. So how to use OpenAI? Then you have to go to OpenAI platform. OpenAI platform. All right, click on the OpenAI platform. You have to get the IP. And as you can see, yes. And then if you want to get the IP, then you have to, this IP references, you have to, this is not going to be free. You have to, I think you have to spend at least 5 USD, and then based on the tokens, you are going to spend based on the tokens. Like for example, if you go back here, and this is the OpenAI, and if you want to create new credentials to your site, then you have to add the IP. All right. If you want to add the IP, you can ask n8n to help you with give you the instructions. But anyway, you have to go to the OpenAI platform, and then later on you need to paste the IP. And then for your information, IP is considered as something private. Don't allow anybody else to see your IP. This is considered as like a password. All right. So, and then this is the ChatGPT, and this is the web search. This is going to help. Click on it, and then you can see search the web for the latest AI news and trends. Use this to find current information about. This is the prompt, kind of the prompt. This is the URL. This is also need to be adjusted. This is the architecture of this, or the structure of the article. Over here, using ChatGPT again to generate an image, and then this is the format and the content, the format and the format of the contents of the email, and then this is going to be to send to your email. If I'm going to execute it, it's not going to work. You can see a lot of problems, and then we have to start fixing the problems. Like for example, the credential, the one that I have to have it here. After that, I'm going to fix other things. And you can see over here, this is can be activates. But as long as I have a problem, I have to solve the problem. Then later on, I can activate. So far, because I have to solve the issues. All right, I'm going to save it. Then later on, I'm going to start working on the issues. Or I can ask to solve the issues, but I need to learn on how to work on those issues, to understand the issues, and then to solve them. Okay, all right. So I'm going to stop here for the Q&A. Sorry, I supposed to stop earlier, but this is n8n. This is about automation. This is about the current state of art of artificial intelligence. It's quite fun. It's quite useful. It's quite, I would say, handy to use automation in general. n8n is considered as one of the common tool currently available for automation. All right, thank you so much.